G'day guys, today I'm going to be showing you the right way to patch your hardwood floors. Okay, this piece here is right at the front door, so before the clients get their floors sanded, we'll be changing this out. There's a few more instances like this throughout the house. I'll show you how it's done more than once. So you can see the nail line through all the timber boards. It runs all the way along. This is where the support is underneath, the joists. Now you always want to cut on top of a joist so that the timber is supported fully from end to end. If you don't want it to look like it's been patched, you can replace more than you actually need to. So instead of just replacing it from one joist to the other, it'll be quite a short piece of flooring. But if we actually patch it from this joist all the way to the one closest to the wall, it'll look like it had always been that way, and that's the kind of result we're after. For me, these are the two most essential tools I'll need for the job. Basically a metal roofing square and a multi-tool. Multi-tools are generally the perfect tool for this job as you can plunge cut with them. This means you can cut all the way through the board without any overcuts into the next board. What you want to do is use the square so that you can use it as a guide for the multi-tool and cut along it in a straight line. You can line the square up lengthways against one of the boards, and that way you know your cut will be square and straight. Once your square's lined up, you can stand on it to free up your hands. That'll make sure it doesn't move while you're cutting the board. Next thing you want to do is run two relief cuts down the middle of the board. We can remove a small section out of the middle of the board, and that'll give us some room to work away the edges. Usually you want to use a old circular saw blade for this, just in case you hit any nails. You don't want to be damaging a brand new or a sharp saw blade. Set your depth to about 25mm. Just cut along the middle of the board. Now we want to be careful not to damage boards that will be staying in. That's why we've given ourselves some room to pull these pieces out. You're going to struggle around the existing nails. So maybe you can cut around them, because if we try to lever it out now, we'll probably crack along this edge of the board. So we can get our multi-tool in or our circular saw, cut around these nails, and that should relieve some of the pressure, and we should be able to pull these out.
Bring you home. This world has stopped, and the breeze is up. When the time is right, I'll sing you a song. Hey, I hold ground. Hey, I hold ground. Hey, I hold ground.
Now that this board's out of the way, we can get ready to put the new one in. Just clean up all these edges, make sure there's no timber stuck in the tongues and the grooves underneath or in here. Pull out the old nails, and then we can measure and cut in the new piece. Okay, so I've decided to take that cut all the way to the wall. I could see the piece next to it was damaged as well. So same method as before, just cut it out and we'll just cut a longer piece in one go. We can see here too that you don't want to be cutting these nails in the board that stays, but there isn't a whole lot of joist left for the new piece to sit on. So we might laminate, well, we will laminate a piece of timber on the side here just to support the end of the new board. Because we are patching, this tongue here will slot into the groove in the existing boards, but to clear the tongue on the other existing board, we have to cut off this bottom groove. Okay, so you want to put some liquid nails in all the joists. Now rest the nozzle on an old piece of wood because this will leak out. I'm going to put some wood glue on the tongue of the existing board and on the tongue of the new board. Now we have to roll this in, the tongue into the new board, and then we can roll it down on top of the other boards. So we've got a board here, it's out in the open, it might be a bit easier to show you what's going on exactly. Now we want to replace the whole length up to here. So using a straight edge, you can line up the long edge with the edge of the board, and then you know your cut will be at a right angle. I like to do this so that the metal covers the board that's going to be kept. Then you can run your multi-tool along the edge, and if you miss this edge, you can bounce around and damage this board. It's not a big deal because the board that's being kept is protected by the square. We find the nail line, which is here, line the square up at the edge of the board, stand on it so it doesn't move, and that frees up your hands to cut the board. you can see the skirting boards have been pulled off here. Now generally underneath the skirting boards the timber is a bit raised because you can't get your sanders in there when the skirting's installed. So you can see the height here where the skirting used to cover the floorboard and the height of the new floorboard, they're the same. Whereas if you come back away from the wall, the thickness of the skirting board, you can see it ramps up a bit. So that's why the floorboard marries in really well right here. And then the further you come away from the wall, you can see there's a bit of a lip developing. That's just because these boards that are polished have been sanded a few times before, and this one here has never been sanded at all.